Hi, welcome back to another video. My name's Bethany. I'm the girl behind Well Loved Knits, and today we're going to go through a little bit of a yarn haul and some of my summer knitting plans. So over the past couple of months, I've been slowly collecting new yarn that I want to try for summer. I'm very excited to just show you what fibers I'm going to be working with this season and what projects I'm going to be doing as well, because I've had my eye on quite a few projects or quite a few patterns that I want to create. And some of these are going to be really perfect for those. Of course, I still have the projects that I set out to make from my spring knitting plans video, but I felt like lately I've been showing you a lot of finished objects and we haven't really talked about new yarn in a while. So I wanted to do that, but next week I will definitely show you where I'm at and what I managed to get done from spring. The first one that I want to show is one that I've been holding on to for a really long time actually. I bought this yarn back in March, I want to say. It is the Cuddle Me Cotton by Hip Knit Shop. I have 4 skeins of this really beautiful lilac color. Early this year, purple became like one of my absolute favorite colors. Just this light, this light purple right here is something that is just so pretty. I don't know if it necessarily is the best color for me and like my skin tone and my hair color, but I really have been gravitating towards this light lilac color. I've never worked with Hip Knit Shop Cuddle Me Cotton, so this is the first time that I will be working with it. And in general, I haven't really worked with cotton too much. My only experiences are with Wool and the Gang's Shiny Happy Cotton, and then a little bit of We Are Knitters cotton as well. I noticed that this cotton isn't as silky as the Shiny Happy Cotton, because the Shiny Happy Cotton has like a shiny, and then it's kind of like slippery, and I find that this is very it's not rough, it's still pretty soft, but it feels more like a cotton to me, like what I would think an organic cotton would feel like. I don't actually know if it's organic. 100% GOTS certified cotton, so I'm assuming that is organic. I'm not really sure, but yes, so this is the Purple Rain colorway, and it's just so pretty. It's best recommended on 3 to 4 millimeter needles. And what I plan on doing with these skeins, and I hope I have enough. I thought I did the check, but maybe this yarn will go a really long way, but I'm planning on using this cotton for Demma's sporty shorts. So I really love following Demma Knitwear, and she, I think, is based in a Nordic country. I want to say Norway, I'm not sure, maybe Denmark. No idea. She has these really beautiful shorts that are just in, they're ribbed shorts, and they look really great for summer. I have a lot of sweaters, as you can imagine, in my closet. Not so many summer tops, and I definitely don't have many shorts. I had made only 1 pair of shorts in the past, and they do not fit me. So I'm really excited to make this pair, because I also am looking at this as kind of an intro to her trousers as well, because she also has a longer version of the pants, and those are made with wool. So I'm definitely planning on making those this winter. So I thought a good introduction to making pants would be the sporty shorts. So I think if this isn't really my color, it doesn't really matter, because it's going to be on my lower half anyway, not so close to my face. I'm really excited to get started with that. The only thing is, I know that since it's a ribbed short, you know, that kind of pattern is very, it's tedious. It can be really rough on the hands. I know it's going to be a bit of a project, so it's not going to be as quick as probably I would hope. So for the next one, this yarn right here, I'm very excited to work with. It is bamboo, 100% bamboo, by a newer brand called the Yarn Lovers. And disclaimer, the Yarn Lovers actually reached out to me and sent me this yarn, so this is a gifted yarn item. Yeah, I've never worked with bamboo before, which is why when they reached out to me, I asked if I could try that particular fiber. I can tell that this bamboo is going to be a really, really lovely fabric when it's all knit up and drape really nicely, because it almost will look like silk because of the shine and the softness. It's gonna be a really lovely piece, like kind of delicate. So what I was thinking the best pattern for this one would be Camisole number 4 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And you guys know that I love My Favorite Things Knitwear and all of her patterns. I've made quite a few of them with a lot of success. And last year I made Camisole number 2 over the summer, and it's one of my most worn knit pieces by far because it really got me through the summer month. So I'm really excited to try this one because it looks a little bit more intricate than the camisole number 2. So camisole number 4, it has that same ribbed detail, but it's like broken stitch. I don't actually know what kind of stitch pattern this is. It might just be something unique to her own design. I don't know if it necessarily has a name, but I'm thinking it's like broken stitch. It's gonna be really intricate, really lovely, kind of sexy. I think it's gonna be a really beautiful finished piece. A couple of things. I'm a little intimidated because this is 100% bamboo, recommended for 3mm needles. And yeah, again, these summer knits, this is why summer knits are not my thing, because it's very small needles. And I know that a lot of you have said once you start knitting in small needles, you're never gonna wanna go back. And I believe that you are right, I really do. But it's intimidating to get there. So I can tell that I'm really gonna love bamboo. I think it's gonna be a really great fiber to work with, and I love working with natural fibers. So I'm really excited to get it started. It's just the intimidation of the small needles that's stopping me. The next one is some linen from We Are Knitters. It's actually 30% linen and 70% viscose. I think on first inspection, I'm interested. I'm very intrigued by this yarn. I have never worked with linen before, so I'm excited to give it a try. So basically all of these things I haven't worked with before, or these last two. It's shinier than I expected. So I was expecting kind of like a matte finish, but you can see like kind of a delicate shine to it, which maybe actually won't be so bad. Maybe you'll actually really like it in like a knitted fabric. I think it'll just make the piece look a little bit nicer. I think viscose will also help it to kind of just drape nicely. Although I am hoping for something a little bit structured, I want something that has some structure for what I want to knit this up in. So needle size is 5mm needles, so a little bit closer to what I'm used to. What I want to make with this is my own design that's kind of coming to my head. I would really like to have just a simple top and then tied back in the back. So I've seen a lot of like really cute tops coming out this summer where you have like ties in the front. Not very practical for me because I would ideally want to just wear this on its own. And you know, boobs and things, I don't really want all of that to be shown. So I would prefer, you know, to have like an open back where you just tie it up in the back. I think that would be really pretty. So I'm thinking, yeah, just like a simple scoop neck, maybe some detail around the neckline, and then doing some I-cords for the ties in the back. So that's something that I really want to get done as like my own kind of design for this season. Last season, I'm still working on the mohair fluffy top, so unfortunately I haven't been able to knit that fast enough. So hopefully I'll be able, with all of the projects that I have in mind, to get this design going, but we'll see. I mean, I'm also not trying to stress myself out too much because, you know, designing is supposed to be a fun thing for me. I don't want to make it into a chore, and I want to do things when I feel inspired, so I'm not going to be too rough on myself if I can't get it done, but I think that this fiber, at least what I'm seeing right now, I haven't yet like knit anything up to work with it. I'm still excited nonetheless, so I'm gonna definitely make a priority to make one of those tops this year. Okay, so another project that's actually one of my priorities for this summer, which seems kind of counterintuitive, it's not a summer knit at all. Well, I think cardigans can be worn any time of the year, so I am gonna count this as a summer knit, but it's just a personal project that I want to do because I'm going to be gifting this sweet cardigan to somebody very special in my life. So I have two fibers that I want to show. These right here will be paired together. They're both made by Drops Design. I've already mentioned before that I really like working with Drops Air. I have worked with it many times in the past, and one of the projects that I used it for was my cardigan number 7 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and that is an amazing cardigan. I cannot recommend that pattern enough, and I think everybody should make one in a combination with Drops Air and then some mohair. For that project, I didn't actually pair it with Drops Design Kids Silk, but for this particular project, I will be. So I'm actually going to be making Petite Knit's Chunky Novice Cardigan. It's the chunkier version of her original Novice cardigan. It's just really a simple raglan style cardigan, and it was designed with beginners in mind. So I think if you're looking for a simple cardigan that's great for beginners, I think that this one, you could definitely knit this one along with me. I'm going to be mixing these two fibers together. They're both in the sage green colorway. You can definitely tell that they're not exactly a match in color, but the fabric that they create together I think is really lovely. I'm really excited to knit this one up because it is, like I said, going to be a gift for somebody who's watching, I think, watching this video, so I'm not going to say. So I already know that I'm really gonna love working with these two fibers. Kids Silk I've worked on for another project, so I know that it stands alone very nicely. So combined together, I think it's gonna just create a nice, soft, squishy fabric that's gonna be very comforting and really nice to wear on summer nights. The person who is going to be receiving this cardigan lives in a very cold climate, or colder climate, especially during the fall and winter, so I think this is going to be really great for her. And I'm really excited to be knitting something for somebody else because I don't get to do that very often. I don't do it very often. I don't make it a priority to knit for other people because I had the opinion that the things I made weren't necessarily something that somebody would want to wear. Like, it wasn't of good enough quality that somebody would actually wear it and use it every day in their life. Because for me, if I make stuff for me, I will wear it regardless because I made it myself. I'll wear it with holes, I'll wear it with drop stitches. I do not care. Because I made it, I will wear it. But that's not the same for other people. So I want to make sure that anything that I produce as a gift is the best quality. So I finally feel like I'm in a place where that is the case. Again, not a summer project necessarily, but still going to love working with it because I do love this combination so much. I think it's gonna be a nice, sweet, soft, and comfortable cardigan. So I have one more thing here next to me that I've picked up over the last couple of months. It is Al Pacino Merino by Wool and the Gang. It's so soft. And oh! It's a beautiful color. You can tell that I really love this color now too, because it's all up here as well. Again, not very summery. It's not meant to be really a summer project. I'm just adding it in here because of the yarn haul. So this concludes the last of what I've been collecting over the past couple of months to get ready to start knitting new projects. I'm really excited to be working with this yarn, but I don't think it's gonna be for summer necessarily. Maybe at the very end when I'm starting to prepare for fall. This will definitely be something that I will knit with, but I actually got it because Wool and the Gang was having a really great sale, and I have heard so many great things about Al Pacino Merino that I had to give it a try for myself. And because I have a particular design in mind that I would like to do, I would like to take my cozy mock neck sweater that you all know and that I really love, and I would like to make a petite version for it so people who might not have access to chunky, very thick wool can also knit it up as well. Of course, I'm gonna be recommending something that's quite expensive as my prototype yarn, but since they have sales fairly frequently, you might be able to catch it at a good deal, or just use something that's another weight, because I feel like this weight of yarn is a little bit more accessible in acrylic and so on. Al Pacino Merino is recommended to be knit with 6.5mm needles, and it is 60% merino and 40% baby alpaca, which is why it's just so soft and squishy and very nice. The colors of this yarn I'm very impressed with. I mean, there's just like some really loud colors, which not typically my thing, but for some reason this year I'm very into bolder colors, and I'm leaning into that, and I'm gonna see how that changes my wardrobe, but I think only for the better. I'm not really gonna touch it until I'm ready to start working on the project, because there's just so many things out and about that I'm already gonna be working on, right? So I think I have about like 10 balls here. So we'll see what kind of fit I make this petite mock neck sweater. I think it's gonna be very lovely though. But yeah, there's something about this blue, I think it's just really beautiful. It's gonna be a very warm sweater, so I don't think that I'm going to knit with it, like I said, until maybe September, because August is probably gonna be one of the warmest months, so just preparing for fall. I'm still probably gonna suffer through and knit it anyway, so. But it's all dependent on, of course, I'm not letting myself touch this until I have finished my petite knit novice cardigan, and until I've at least knit one of these. I love chunky knits, but I also really love the look and yeah, the finished product of a smaller knit piece, like with smaller needles. So I really need to start being more disciplined and let myself explore that a little bit more and be more patient. But it's all a process, right? Yeah, but I think I have a really good mix of projects, some things that I've never really knit before, the shorts, a little bit more of an intricate and fun cami, a new design potentially if I can get around to it, and then also a gift for somebody else. So I think that these are some really exciting projects for me when normally I wouldn't get so excited about summer knitting patterns and that sort of thing. Like tank tops and things are just not something I really knit that much before, except for that one time. I would be really curious to know what projects are you going to be knitting on this summer? Are any of the projects that I mentioned going to be on your knit list? Because definitely let me know so that we can exchange tips and talk more about it over the next couple of weeks. But I really appreciate you guys, as always, listening to me. I hope you're not tired of listening to me talk. I hope you enjoyed knitting a little bit while I was rambling on, and I can't wait to show you some of the finished projects in the next couple of weeks and months. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more knitting and DIY content like this, and I'll speak to you next time.